Guys, this has to be one of the most frustrating calls that I've seen on this channel. Like, it's crazy how this guy defends this woman. Like, if you look at some of the comments, look at this. Divorce. Okay, this one's kind of funny. Divorce, the ultimate marriage. Somebody else says, nope, she had been cheating already and then asked for an open relationship. She can't be trusted. Dude deserves better, and I hope he finds peace. He needs a DNS test for those kids. This woman has cheated more times and for longer than he thinks. She will never treat him right. And I don't think that she's going to change either, which is part of what this guy is hoping for on this call. So let's take a look.
And talk to Jeff. Hey, Jeff, what's up, man?
Hi, Dr. John.
What's up, dude?
How are you?
Good, man.
Just looking through the notes that I wrote down, make sure I don't miss much here. I'm a very detail-oriented person. I like to lay things out before I do stuff like anything like this. So.
Well, I had a coworker call me and I quote, hot mess this morning. So I need some order in my life. So go for it, man. Read it out to me.
So this time last year, my wife asked me for an open relationship, and I could see that she was struggling really bad and had been for a while. And I felt like I didn't want to just say no to her. So basically, I said, "I'll give you a month, not do anything, nothing physical." I said, "I'll let you collect information, give me some data, tell me a reason why you think this would help us."
She was already with somebody, wasn't she?
I wonder what he means when he says she was struggling.
She had been already a year and a half before that for a year.
Yep, almost every time.
And she already had a plan.
Yep.
Like we laid out all these ground rules, what would happen if we got there, and she was with somebody like almost right away, somebody different than this other person, and both of them were from work. And then so I'm struggling with this because it wasn't, after the first month I was like, this is not something I want to have anything to do with, which I knew before I even agreed to any of it.
Right.
If I would admit it to myself. But then I asked her to stop and she said no. And even though she told me she hadn't been with anyone, there was nothing there. She was still sleeping with me, and then I found out later that she wasn't using protection with these people.
Dude, that's crazy. He told her to stop, and she said no. Like, at that point, dude, you should have left, divorced her, and been done with her. Like, this is crazy.
Have you ever heard the analogy about the rattlesnake in the paper bag?
I think so, but you might have to refresh my memory.
So a guy is walking down the street and he stumbles on a plastic bag and he opens it up and there's a rattlesnake inside, buzzing. And the rattlesnake says, "Hey, will you help me get out of this bag? I'm stuck in here. I can't get out." And the guy goes, "Dude, I'm not going to pick you up. You're a rattlesnake. You'll bite me." And the rattlesnake goes, "No, I'm not. I need help. Like, I'm not going to bite you this time. Like, I need you to help me." And the guy's like, "Ugh, okay." And he sticks his hand in and the rattlesnake just bites the crap out of him. And the guy goes, "Why'd you do that? You said you weren't going to." And he's like, "I'm a rattlesnake. That's what I do." And then he goes, "Will you help me, though? Help me out of this bag." And he goes, "No, you just bit me." And he goes, "I know. I had to get that out of my system. I'm a rattlesnake. It's hard for me not to. I won't do it again." The guy's like, "No, you bit me." And he goes, "Oh, come on." And he goes, "All right." So he puts his hand back in the bag to grab the snake, and the snake bites him again. That's you.
Okay.
Your wife was cheating on you for a year and a half. How long have y'all been married?
We've been married for 6 years, but we've been together since we were teenagers, so we've been together for almost 16 years.
Okay, it's been happening before that. Statistically speaking, it's happened before that. Hold on. She's cheating on you. Then she came up with a plan to get you to go along with it. And when somebody's cheating on you for over a year, that means she didn't just have a one-night stand or a weekend fling or a 2 or 3 week, like, what am I doing? She was with somebody for a year.
Bro, like, this woman has absolutely no respect for this guy whatsoever. I mean, for you to go around, sleep with a bunch of different dudes, come home, and then do the same with your husband, I'm sure she's lying to him, telling him that she loves him, all of these things, like, that is not a person of character, right? Like, that's not a person that you want to be with in the first place. Somebody that would lie like that straight to your face. Because think about it. He didn't find out until recently, yet this has been going on for years. So for years, she's been able to lie to him convincingly to the point where he didn't know what was happening. I don't want anybody like that, never mind my wife, around me.
And so that marriage disconnection you felt, that even entertained the idea that I know will make my marriage better, my wife goes and knocks around with some other dude. That'll help. The fact you even entertained that was...
That's another thing that doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you ever want to share your wife with any other man? Or why would you, like, to me, if my wife came to me and asked me that, like, it wouldn't be just like, no. It would be like, what is going on? And probably we need a divorce, right? Because think about it. For somebody to go up to you and ask you something like this is something that has been festering. This is something that they have been thinking about for some time. And like he said, in often cases, they've been doing it in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not physically, maybe emotionally at work or something like that. Like, no, man, you don't want anything to do with that.
It's not because your marriage is falling apart because of something you were doing. It's because your wife's already in a relationship with somebody else.
Okay.
And then you set up ground rules, and you're stunned that she goes and sleeps with somebody else right away.
Yeah, she broke every rule the first time.
She's not a person of integrity.
Yep.
And I'm only telling you that because I love you, man. She's a person that lies and cheats to her husband and her ride or die for 16 years.
I would like to say that so we went on a family vacation, and she on this vacation, we were driving through the middle of the night because we have young children, and I wanted them to sleep. And her phone was still lit up because everything was locked on it, obviously. It was still lit up, so I grabbed it, and I found a bunch of stuff. She was sending videos and pictures and all sorts of stuff to many, many people. And from that day, we started working to try to fix this. And then I found out everything maybe a month.
Bro, there is no fixing that. Run away. This woman does not deserve you. Like, men need to have more self-worth than this. Like, you have to be able to say to yourself in your marriage, like, I am not only being faithful, but I'm providing. I am being the husband that my wife deserves to be. I am every day sacrificing for her. And if she cannot appreciate that, then she can go kick rocks, right? You need to be able to say that, and you need to be able to be comfortable with that, right? Guys like him get in situations like this because they don't have that self-confidence. They're not looking at what they're doing. Maybe there's some type of insecurity. Like, okay, there's stuff in the past, right? But let's say that you understand this about yourself, right? You need to look at your current situation today. Understand how you are being present for your family, how you are loving your wife, right? And if you're doing all the right things and she is still not being able to appreciate that, that's not an issue on you. That's an issue on her. And you need to get to stepping because she is not for that marriage at all.
And a half after that in July. And since the day that she has come clean and told me everything, she has done every single thing I've asked. She has gone to counseling. I've gone to counseling. We're about to start couples therapy. We've taken trips together. We've really tried to reconnect on all levels and become better parents and just do things together. And to be honest, I've found nothing since then that says there was more. And trust me, I became a person who was searching phone logs and doing all this stuff that I had never done over the first 15 years. I'd never even been through a phone.
You find yourself like Liam Neeson real fast. Like,
yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, you just like become one of those murder podcast people for sure. I got to solve this, right? So what's your question? Let's get right to this. What's your question?
I cannot stop thinking about her with these other people.
That's right.
I start visualizing, and then I ruminate, and then I spiral, and then I make up scenarios in my head, and I make everything even worse than it probably was. And then I ask her about it, and then I can see the guilt is crushing her because now that she's in a healthier place.
I can see the guilt because it's crushing her. Dude, like, she did this to you. Like, how is this man, and this is something that happens often, is that the woman will do something wrong, and because we as men, we want to protect them, we want to love them, we then turn them into the victim, even though they are the ones that caused the issue to begin with. And I'm not saying to not be loving, I'm not saying to not be caring, but responsibility needs to land where it is deserved. If she is the one that has caused this issue, there are consequences for every single action that we take. And that means that she needs to take responsibility, right? Just because God forgives you, it doesn't mean that he's not going to allow the consequences of your actions to take place. We see this all over the Bible, right? Perfect example, Abraham. Abraham sinned. He got himself, he slept with his wife's slave, and that had real world consequences. His household was in disarray. because of that decision that he made, right? When it comes to Jacob as well, right? He, even though God blessed him in many ways, his actions followed him throughout his life. He was a liar and a thief. And so when he ends up falling in love, guess what? He ends up marrying into a family where his father-in-law was a liar and a thief, right? These are consequences that are part of your actions. So, I mean, for this guy, for him to take that blame on himself because, oh, well, I'm feeling bad about this and now I'm making her feel bad. Like, that's crazy. Dude, she cheated on you for the better part of your marriage. Like, you are allowed to be pissed. You're allowed to be paranoid. That's part of it.
And knows what she is doing to me currently. Like, and for us, for my children, for her, I need to start feeling better and not being so crushed day to day and not having these 2 or 3 day spans where I just cannot function because the weight of this is killing me. And I just am not sure how to move forward with it.
Okay. Often what happens in these situations is you are so empowered is not the right word. You're so brought back to life. You're enlivened. That's not really, I don't know if that's the right word. You're just given life again by seeing your partner try to connect with you, by seeing her do the things that you wish had been happening for 15 years. And it injects some light back into a dark, dark, dark room. And what often happens is what you're running into right now. So I want you to know you're not crazy. You're not nuts. You're not alone. You're not on an island by yourself. This happens all the time, okay?
That's exactly how it feels, too.
I know it does. It's super isolating. And you start to feel crazy because she's doing all these things that seems that she's all in. And
It really feels that way.
I know it does. You're not crazy.
That doesn't mean that stops the hurt from happening.
Okay? What you haven't done is a couple of things. You have not grieved this yet.
Yep.
I don't know that you fully metabolized what actually happened. You've been too busy searching and playing Matlock and trying to solve this thing and then trying to get her to not wreck this whole car because it's flying down the highway and it's got kids in it and it's a thing and it's my marriage. And you haven't sat on the back porch by yourself and stared off at the sunset and said out loud, my wife was cheating on me for years. My wife was sleeping with other guys. My wife was sending nude videos and photos of herself all over the place. People have my wife's naked body on their phones.
Bro.
Who knows? Who knows how many? Who knows who they've shared that with?
That's crazy. I couldn't deal with it. I mean, look, one of the clear grounds for divorce in the Bible is adultery. She stepped out. Now, God bless this guy's soul if he's able to forgive his wife and they're able to work it out. I know that I personally, I couldn't do that. My wife, if I ever found out that my wife cheated on me or was cheating on me, or she told me she was cheating on me, like, the marriage is over. It's just, I wouldn't be mean to her. I wouldn't hate her. But I just know that that is someone that I would not be able to spend the rest of my life with. She broke our vows. You cannot be trusted. You are a liar. Yes, can people change? Of course, especially if they come to Christ. Like, this woman didn't have a coming to Christ moment, if you will. Like, I think God is the only one that can change a person like that. But even then, man, like, God would have to, like, calm down and talk to me directly for me to be able to forgive something like that. And excuse me, not forgive, for me to not get divorced in a situation like that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I being a little bit too harsh here? I don't know. It's crazy. Crazy. Like, this world, some of the things that are permissible, the type of things that men today will accept, they're just like, are beyond me. Anyways, guys, I hope that this was a blessing. And as always, just wanted to remind you that we must persevere. Peace.